All right, so 3-2 overall. Not bad, but I think we could have done better for the matchups that we got. We did win our one kind of combo-y matchup with the Rugscape Shift, and those are the tougher ones. Unified Will certainly came in handy there, even if I did not play that Unified Wheel particularly well. It still worked out, fortunately, but I was glad to have them, so having them on my board was nice for that. It's kind of awkward to have 4 slots for them, but I think it's a requirement, again, just because of how bad those combo matchups are, and Unified Will kind of a card that hits all of those combo matchups at once, or at least a lot of them, to the best of our ability. And we also got to bring in a couple against Eldrazi Tron, which is kind of nice. Maybe should have brought in more there, but again, we had to keep track of our number of creatures. As far as other parts of the list are concerned, I mean, I'm pretty happy with most of it. I don't really know what I would want to change. I'm tempted to make the Rex Sage a second Qasali Pride Mage, but Company into Rex Sage, is a real thing we're looking for at parts of games, especially against things like Affinity. Company into Pride Mage, sometimes you won't have the spare mana. So that's something to think about. Plus, getting the body and blowing something up is relevant, and there were a couple times where that was something we were looking for. So maybe 1-1 still correct. Something to think about there. Other than that, though, like I said, pretty okay with this list. Maybe that Kataki should be a third Stony Silence. I think 2-1 is okay though for now. The more I think about it, I think I might have briefly mentioned the possibility of trying to have this deck have like retreat in it, but at that point, like, you're going to have to be a pretty different deck, right? Then you basically need to have Kessing in your deck and a Stomping Ground. By the time I'm adding Kessing and a Stomping Ground, I'm going to have a lot less basics probably, or less Ghost Quarters or something. I also don't really have enough fetches currently, so again, I'm going to have to start shaving on Ghost Quarters and basics, which I absolutely don't want to do in my my like Azusa Ramunap version of the deck, right? So I just don't think you can really jam retreat into this list without changing it entirely. Now, it's possible that playing like Night of the Reliquary Retreat plus like Devoted Druid Vizier deck is better. I've never been a huge fan of the Devoted Druid Vizier decks, but I think that the Night version might be the best one. Again, still not a very big fan of those lists, and I kind of honestly do like this deck a lot better. At least it's a lot more enjoyable, if not just actually better. But again, this deck does struggle a little bit more against those kind of combo decks, to really, at least the ones that force you to kind of interact early with non-lands or non-creatures. If we're interacting with creatures, obviously we have Path to do that, although that is our only piece. And if we're interacting with lands, we have Ghost Quarter, and that's a lot easier considering how easy it is to repeat that effect and how we can tutor for Ghost Quarter in the first place with Night. So something to think about depending on expected meta, but I do think this deck is a blast to play. I really like the package of Azusa, Ramunap, Tireless Trekker, and Courser, all that good stuff. It's fun to really get to abuse that to the best of the ability, and we did get to do that for a little bit, especially that game 1 against Affinity. That was a lot of fun, so I'm glad we got to have that experience. But either way, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time. Have a good one.